I love calendars. Now, I have a calendar app on my smartphone, and it comes in handy, but there's nothing like a hands-on version to place where I can see it when I'm getting ready, or where I can write down events that are coming up, or maybe looking back something that happened, a surprise thing that happened and I hadn't written down. So, and first of the new year is a great time to take down our old calendars and maybe just reflect back over the past 12 months, and then put up our new calendars and look ahead to the promise of the next 12 months. 12 months, 365 days, 8,760 seconds or minutes, and 525,600 seconds. I know you're impressed because pastors just don't do math well, but so check me out on that. Anyway, you may not be counting the seconds or even the hours, but hopefully you're counting the days. Calendars help us do that. Devotional books help us do that. God's Word helps us do that. Psalm 90 verse 12 reads, "Teach us to number our days, that we might gain a heart of wisdom." We think that Moses wrote this psalm from the wilderness of Israel's deep and consistent unfaithfulness. In fact, in this psalm, he wrestles with coming face to face with an infinite, transcendent God and our momentary, fleeting lives. In fact, the New Living Translation version of verse 12 reads, "Teach us to realize the brevity of life so that we may grow in wisdom." There's nothing like reflecting on the shortness of life. We may live 91, 99, even 100 years, and that's a long, long time from one perspective. But it's just a vapor from another perspective, from God's perspective. And Moses, realizing that, came to the very brink of despair, but he pulls back from despair to turn and to focus instead on God's grace. And so he's able to write in verses 13 and 14, "Have compassion on your servants. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for joy and be glad in all our days." Sing for joy and be glad in all our days. All the days that we're counting, that we're numbering on this day number 5 of the year 2022. The most popular song at New Year is Auld Lang Syne, but the most popular hymn of all time is no doubt Amazing Grace. What if we put those two together? We sang the words that we know so well, Amazing Grace, to the tune of Auld Lang Syne. Will you sing that with me? We can sing for joy and be glad in all our days only because of God's amazing grace. Grace that we have received in Jesus Christ, that is far more than Moses, for all his faith, could have ever imagined. And so again, we sing Amazing Grace to the tune of Auld Lang Syne. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see, my friend. Was blind, but now I see. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. The hour I first believed, my friend, the hour I first believed. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Than when we first begun, my friends, and when we first begun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Than when we first begun, my friends, and when we first begun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when